Welcome, everybody, and I hope you're having a wonderful weekend. Yes, we're going to talk about Venezuela also and other things. We got a lot to talk about. But before we get started, the one thing I do really want to do is because a lot of you, I want to make this as the best possible experience as we can. Oh, and we have Alexander up here today. It's his birthday. Happy birthday, Alexander. We're going to bring you up here for a couple of minutes. I know you have to go. It's your, but I want to get a quick update. The one thing I do want to do is before we start going, because then a lot of people join and sometimes it starts glitching. For those of you that want to come up, if you could start, maybe put it in the fill right now and start mentioning if any questions or if you want to come up, so we can start putting you in the queue. So this way, when we start bringing people up, because what happens is it sometimes gets like 15 minutes delayed, and I know a lot of you complained a little bit last time. You wanted to ask some questions, you wanted to come up, and we just didn't do so. I apologize for it. So to make it smoother, easier, and better, just so when you see it, and Dean, maybe you help me out also because
Yeah,
sometimes
DM us
mine.
as well, right?
Yeah,
Like send us a DM. If you follow us, you're a paid sub. This is for you. This is our way of saying thanks and bringing you in and giving you a voice. So make sure you give us a quick DM. Send us DM to Lev remembers DM, deanblundell.substack.com. You can DM me there if you're a paid sub. And ask your questions. We've got our stuff open and we want to bring you up. And if you just have a question, ask the question. If you want to come up, say, here's my handle. Love to jump on with you guys and we'll try and bring you on today. But we've got lots to get to. Should we start in Ukraine? Because Alex is,
yeah,
yeah.
that's I was
Let's
gonna
do
say.
that.
Let's wish him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Hey,
know he. I don't know
hey
if he has light.
guys.
Hey,
It,
Alexander. What's? I guess he has no light. But happy birthday, my
No,
brother.
is it dark or is
uh,
it your camera just not working?
no, it's not just the lights, right? There is a
There's
little
no.
lights far away.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
That's why the connection is bad. Everything is bad. But Galaki just made it out because we were delivering some heat packs, and some over here you will have extra
What a
power
man.
shut off. If you are in the elevator and they shut off the extra power off, that's it. You're staying in the elevator for 4 hours until it goes back on. So we
Oh
just
my
made it
God.
out. So I just got towards my neighbors. So I'll be able still gotta book some flights, but at least
Oh my
smoothing.
God.
So that's good, guys. Thank you, everybody. Thank you for all the wishes. Thank you so much.
Mm.
Al-
Uh,
Alex, we
Another
love you,
year.
man.
Yeah. Happy
Like,
birthday.
happy
So just so you're celebrating your birthday in the dark after a strike, after coming back from delivering some packages to the front line. Is that what I understand?
Yeah. Well, listen. When people are grateful, and I know I made a difference on my birthday, so this is the biggest present for me. I
Oh
mean,
man.
nothing can top that.
Good man, Alex. I don't even know what to say. I love you, bro. Just can you take some time off? Go spend some time with the family a little bit. I know every day, you need some. We love you here, and you got a lot of support from everybody down here, brother.
Thank you,
So
guys. Thank you.
Yeah.
Listen, I want to thank you for all the support, for all the nations, for everything you do for Ukraine, and especially for standing with Ukraine. As some people on top have different views, but they miscalculated the people, and people are not going to go for this BS. So I want to thank everybody for everything. Thank you for all your wishes. Thank you
Mm.
for your support. God bless you all. Thank you so much.
Oh, dude, we love you. We support you. We're so grateful to have you here, not just because you bring light into our world. I feel so selfish when I talk to someone like you. I'm like, I
Come
got no
on.
fucking problems. But I want to talk about standing with Ukraine because the whole world does. We watched the European Union, Canada came out very strongly. All of your allied partners stand with Zelensky, stand with Ukraine in the rejection of a 28-point peace plan that was allegedly copy and pasted from the Kremlin. Is that what I understand?
Yep. Not only that, there were a few more points Lev wrote about that. But the thing is that just so you understand, for the first time, Zelensky every year he has speeches for like about 20 minutes, 15 minutes about how strong we are, what we do. But this is the first time since his presidency he came up on the air he asked people, "Are you with me?" Because I only have one choice: either to accept capitulation or stand with the people. Are you with me? If you're with me, stop all the bullshit, stop all the stealings. Let's all get together. Let's unite. and let's continue fighting and stay
Wow.
free. That's what he said. He says, yeah, there was some stealing. I dealt with it. Not the proper authorities are dealing with this. But we are, he says, people are waiting for response from me. The world is waiting for response, but I gave the response in May on 2019 when I swore an oath that I will never give up on the people. I will never give up on Ukraine. So everybody know my answer. And he came to the people for the first time. So this is like, to me, it's also one of the biggest presents to have a presence stay by his people and stay with Ukraine. Not to worry about his personal consequences, no, but to worry about the country, about the people. God bless him. Slava
Amen.
Ukrainian.
Geroyam Slava. Alex, we love you, brother. Go back, get home to your family. Go enjoy. I know it's getting late already. Go spend some time. Happy birthday. Thank you so
Thank
much
you.
for joining us for a couple of minutes here. We love you. And to hopefully tomorrow we'll do a live or something and bring everybody up to speed. But I'm going to get everybody up to speed on everything that's going on. So go spend some time. Happy birthday.
Thank you. Thank you.
Happy
Thank you
birthday,
again.
buddy. Happy
Thank
birthday.
you. God
Godspeed.
bless you all. Thank you. Thank
You
you.
too, buddy. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Alex Bolbier, he is your voice of Ukraine partner. What a fucking dude.
Oh, dude, you understand
Boy,
on his birthday?
Jesus.
By the way, while he was out, I went out, got folks, and I just grabbed his GoFundMe. So there's a GoFundMe set up while he's not here because he would kill me if he knew I was doing this. But it's his GoFundMe to help move. We have about 70-80% of it done. There's about, I think, 20% left of him to help him out, get him over the edge to be able to get him to a better, safer place for him and his family. So it's his birthday. Let's go out there, family, on his birthday. Do whatever we can. I'm going to share it in here. Please, everybody, if you could reshare it, this would be a huge birthday present for him and his family. And I think that's the least any of us could do on a day like today. So you see it up there. If you did, oh, Bob, God bless you. Whatever anybody could do, $1, $5, anything. It's a team effort. So God bless you guys, and I'll just leave it up there. Just reshare it, because that's something good. We often talk about all this crazy bad stuff, but it's a good feel. I couldn't believe it. I thought he was going to be home without no lights, but he just finished delivering packs of heat packs and now he's going up there. And this is how they're all living over there. Thinking of each other to be able to get by. It's one hand after another. That's why we all have to be here to be able to support, to be able to go out there, to be able to remind them that no matter what Donald Trump does right now, no matter what Putin does right now, we the people stand with the Ukrainian people. They're not going to give up. They're going to fight. Russia's not going to win. And we're going to get into a lot of this stuff here. So yeah, folks, please, again, I'm going to share it, and then we'll go on to, we have a lot to go over, including Marjorie Taylor Greene, brother.
Well, I want to get to Marjorie Taylor Greene, but I also want to wrap up this quick Ukraine conversation because I cannot talk enough about what is going on there. And just to give you context, right, is your boy Alex from Voice of Ukraine is sitting in the dark after delivering supplies and heat pads and hygiene kits to the front lines where they got heavily bombed. He made it out, he said, just in time, but there's no power where he is on his birthday, and he's talking about how
the elevators. Just think about how crazy they just got out of because they turned the light off
and they
every
stopped.
time.
Yeah,
And if you're in the elevator when they turn the lights off, you get stuck. Just think about how crazy that is. So they just got out of the elevators when the lights turned off.
Yeah, it's incredible to me. But a lot of those people are very war weary, to your point. But you would think they would be more war weary than we hear in the tone and the text and the tenor of how Alex is dealing with all this, and for them to be that war weary, to find out that their president has put it back on them and said, "Are you with me?" And 90% of that country said, "Slava Ukraine, fuck Russia, keep going, partner with our allies, forget about the United States." And I want to get into the reason why they said it, but that's what the general public Western person doesn't fucking understand, right? Is that mentality. We just don't get it.
Well, yeah, I mean, and I think the biggest thing, why don't we, instead of going into our, sequence into Ukraine, because I think this is actually stay on this topic, because
Yeah.
I think it's not only that a lot of the Westerns don't get it, but Trump doesn't get it.
Yeah.
Not and A lot of the diplomats we have dealing with it don't get it, and that's why we saw play out something extraordinary, folks. Uh, those of you that are following us, those of you that have been listening to us for the past week, we've been discussing and talking about how this 28-point plan was basically delivered by Kirill Dmitriev to Witkoff, and it was pushed on. Folks, even I did not know that it was the same exact plan. What I'm finding out today, and if you guys haven't read it, make sure go read my Substack letter I wrote this morning. This was
Mm-hmm.
actually the original 30-point plan. There was a 30-point plan originally that was made up, that my source is saying that the Russians literally took out 2 points. And I'll read those 2 points out to you. Just give me a second. Let me get to my actual letter earlier today. So the original plan was 30 points, and they took out 2 points. The 2 points they took out were a requirement for the U.S. and Western investors to bail out Russia's economy after the war, and a proposed U.S., and this is crazy, U.S.-Russian Christian Union alliance aimed against China. So the reason this was part of the original. I knew you'd love that one. I knew you'd love that one. I know you love that one.
Yeah. Wow, that is something. A Christian, Russian, U.S. Christian pact to go after China.
Alliance. All right. But
I love also the whole thing where Russia's like, we're broke as fuck. If we get this done, you got to bail us out, America. We got no money left. I mean, Jesus fucking Christ. So they take those 2 points out. Let's leave those two aside for a second.
And they took them out because they would everybody would understand that there was no way Ukraine had nothing to do with it, because part of the way this was, remember, this was presented to the public and to the United States, that this was negotiated between the what's it called, the Ukrainians and the Russians, that it was negotiated and it was welcome, and this is the American peace plan. This is Trump's peace plan. This is how it was presented, and to go to the extent Trump gave him till Thursday, Thanksgiving. He basically said, you have till Thursday to decide if you're going to accept my peace plan, or otherwise, like he said today, and I want to just rip his heart out, but he said, or Zelensky could fight his little heart out. Just the comments he makes, fight his little heart out. You know what I mean? It's trying to demean him. Just think about it. People are dying, kids are. I mean, and you just fight his little heart out. This is what this sick, perverted man says. So, so basically, I even lost my train of thought when I kept saying that. I can't believe it.
No, you're talking about how they copy and pasted the 28 points,
so
and they in their shadow diplomacy. You got Witkoff and Kushner meeting with Kirill Dmitriev in Miami, and this is in your reporting, which is fucking unbelievable. Meeting in Miami, they come up with this plan, which a lot of people
no.
Russia gave them the plan, and they're like, "This is good." They just had it translated and then handed it over to Ukraine and said, "Fucking agree to all this by Thursday or else."
So I gotta stop you, because this reminds me of how we did the Biden stuff. Like, this is literally, like, people wouldn't believe it, but we would sit in the Trump hotel, in the lobby. We would have the Trump concierge running around making copies for us. We would have waitresses passing around paperwork, putting together the package, doing copy and paste as we were delivering it to the State Department, to Pompeo, to show this is exactly what we did in the Trump hotel, the lobby. So this now reminds me exactly what these idiots did. So basically, I can tell you, they met in Miami, in somewhere in South Beach, in a disclosed location. They were having, Dmitriev gave them the plan, gave Witkoff the plan, told them, this is something that's good for Russia, for Ukraine. It's going to make you look great. This is going to make Trump look great. It's a negotiated plan. Witkoff has no idea what it is. He has no clue of what's going on. All he cares about, that the compromise that the Russians have doesn't come out on Trump, and this is all he has to do, make sure that this is, like, covered up. Just takes the plan and literally they translate it, folks. They don't even, like, because and this is the problem why they had to translate, because think about who do they give it to and say, hey, I have this Russian plan, I need you to fine tune it to make it sound like it's our plan. Then they can't even tell, so they basically went and copied it and then handed it to the State Department, to like Rubio's people, and said, this is what Trump wants. Then it gets disseminated and leaked to the public as the U.S. plan given to the Ukrainians. The Ukrainians almost have a heart attack because they look at the plan that it resembles exactly the 30-point plan that the Russians gave one for one, literally not even changing it. And then the Europeans start looking at it and saying, wait a second, this looks like a translation. There's this, this doesn't even sound right in the way, because remember they didn't. It was
the grammar, the phonetics. It didn't make a lot of sense to experts, and so what they did was several European intelligence services ran that 28-point plan in total in the language it was translated into, and every single one of them came back with the actual conclusion that they fed this thing through AI, said translate this, put it in a document. And that was the United States peace plan, was the Kremlin's peace plan with 2 points taken out, complete capitulation, complete surrender. They handed it to Trump. They AI'd the shit out of it and didn't fucking work, because every intelligence service is like, oh, you guys just translated this from the Kremlin. And they're like, to Marco Rubio's point, he then tells guys like Angus King, yeah, it's exactly what happened. We had nothing to do with it. And then Angus King comes out with a whole bunch of senators yesterday, and they're like, by the way, Marco Rubio told all of us he has never seen this plan before. It was given to him by Witkoff and forced into the hands of the Russians. And then Marco Rubio puts out a tweet, and he's like, I swear to God, I had a part in that. That's our plan, guys. I swear to God.
If you just take out the players and you take off Rubio, put Pompeo in, and Bolton, and you take out Witkoff, put Lev Parnas in, and you put Rudy Giuliani, it was the same thing. We would go around them, and we had Devin Nunes. We were guys in Congress. It was Ron Johnson in the Senate. Go out there and promote. Say we got all this breaking stuff on the Bidens. Meanwhile, Pompeo would be Barr would be coming and say, no, this is not. We don't know what this is not going. We'd be like, fire the ambassador. Pompeo's like, no, don't fire the ambassador. Why you fire the This is the same shit. And then at the end of the day, Pompeo found line and said, yes, Trump, has all the right to fire the ambassador. Yes, this is, Biden's are corrupt and all of it. Same exact thing. I'm telling you, you can't make this stuff up. That's why later today, I got a little special for you. We're going to do a little story time with Lev. I have a little section here, yeah. So if you have it, make sure you grab your story books. We're going to read chapter, I think, 35. There's a reason for it, and we'll get to it. If you haven't yet, make sure to go to loveremembers.com and grab a copy of your book, because it's I'll tell you, if I didn't even write it, if I didn't live it, it's for those of you that want to know what's going on. If you read the book, it'll give you a carbon copy of exactly what is taking place right now. Just
I got to tell you, I read Shadow Diplomacy probably about a month and a half ago. I just picked it up on Apple Books and read it, and it's fucking amazing to me. Is where you see the Witkoffs of the world, and then you hear stories like this where Donald Trump effectively just absolutely undercut his entire, foreign policy team, undercut the House, undercut the desire of the American people, undercut everybody with stuff like this. I'm like, oh my God, that was Lev Parnas. Lev Parnas was the original shadow diplomacy guy for Donald Trump, the Ukraine operation, and it's all back in Ukraine. It all has something to do with Ukraine, and he's running it back again. So I would highly encourage every single person watch this, not just to subscribe to my friend Lev Parnas' Lev Remembers thing, get his book Shadow Diplomacy, because it offers you context and gives you sort of that playbook, because you were like ground zero for this. So that's my question: is Marco Rubio pissed? What are you hearing from inside the White House with his team? Because my God, he's just embarrassed the fuck out of everybody that's been trying to get to a conclusion when it comes to what's going on in Ukraine, right?
Well, see, that's the beauty of it. I mean, they all sold their souls, so they're pissed off, of course, but they also all
They can do nothing.
they can't do nothing about A. They also understand. They've been understanding for a while, just like Pompeo was understanding that it was Rudy Giuliani. Just think about it. Pompeo, Bolton back in the day understood it was Giuliani. Us. Remember when the whistleblower complaint came out?
Take me through it. Take me through how that not just how you set it up, but how you were able to work underneath the government in that shadow diplomacy role that we're watching play out right now, but in complete coordination with the Russian government.
Well, back then we were using it. Rudy Giuliani was Trump's personal lawyer, and we were under under the shadow of Rudy Giuliani. And then when we would get to whoever we were meeting, literally we would put either Trump or Giuliani on the phone to tell him that it was okay to speak to us. I mean, you can't even make that up, but that's exactly how it worked back then. Today, he made Witkoff the official envoy. So because Witkoff's the official envoy, he has now that. So now instead of Rudy Giuliani, the lawyer, you have Steve Witkoff, the envoy, where is the cover of going on.
Oh, he learned from the first time. Yeah.
He learned from the first, and the first time, when we discussed me being an envoy, the reason he didn't make me special envoy, he said that the Democrats would make me put a target on my back, and then they would go after me. So that's why we wanted to do it in the shadows. Now he doesn't care what the Democrats they put or do, because nobody could do anything. There's no oversight on this. So basically, Steve, what were you asking me to
how the whole shadow diplomacy thing works? Because what we're watching, what we're witnessing now, is shadow diplomacy underneath, the wishes of elected officials and people and cabinet members. So he doesn't even trust his fucking own cabinet that he's assembled, and he's got a different group of guys that are running around trying to collect these deals and get deals done on his behalf. To your point, for personal benefit and personal gain, right? Yeah.
Well, there's two things. There's A is the personal benefit, personal gain, because remember, then you got Zach Witkoff and the Tweedledee, Tweedledum, Eric and Don Jr.
Uday and Kuse?
Uday and Kuse running around with Zach, behind Trump and, trying to collect and, make an order. But there's also the link to the Epstein files, which we've been talking about for the past already several weeks since we saw the emails that came out from the Epstein estate showing that there was a lot more going on behind the scenes. And when I saw those emails, I started digging into it even further, speaking to a lot of my sources, and the farther and the deeper I dig, the more I'm starting to find out that there was more and more in these Epstein files, not just from guys like Epstein, and now we understand Bannon, but there was other influential, powerful people, knowingly and unknowingly, were giving information to Russia about Donald Trump, and they were collecting, especially once he became president. So, once he became president from 2016 there was a major operation going on. And that was one of the reasons why Bill Barr buried a lot of that stuff. And Bill Barr was the first one, because remember, the first administration that arrested Epstein with all of this was Trump's administration. Mm-hmm. And it was Bill Barr, but it wasn't because of the pedophilia and everything. It was that was just part of getting the warrant and everything. It was getting him caught up and tied up because of the information he was leaking at the time to the Russians, and now we're starting to see it in a lot of the emails. So this is there's a lot more to this. We're gonna untangle as this goes on, and then that's why I keep telling you guys there. Make sure you subscribe, make sure you stay tuned, because even once we win the House, this is when it's only going to begin. Right now, the most important part is for us to be able, whatever we do, mobilize as we are, to be able to get control of some of our oversight in the House, the Senate, to be able to do it. But once this stuff starts unraveling, I promise each and every one of you, you're going to sit back and you're going to start reading all of these videos we've done, all of these mails. Substack is so great, and it's going to be like history for you. You're going to be saying, holy shit, this is exactly what was talked about, because
you can set your watch to the things that you talk about on Substack, to your essays, to your insights, to your accusations. You can set your watch that every week to 2 weeks, everything Lev says the previous week to 2 weeks is 100 fucking percent accurate.
And I'm not doing it, guys. And I want you to understand this is in no way, and maybe I'm not a polished speaker, so it's not a way to pat myself on the back, or not trying to take credit. It's a way for me to try to explain because it's hard to get through to a lot of people that I'm not just a pundit, that I'm not just giving you my opinion, because a lot of times we have a lot of new people that join, a lot of new people that are just watching, and they sit there and they'll listen to me and they'll say, "Oh, who are you, or how do you know different, or you're just giving us your opinion, or I listen to this guy and he tells me this." And that's why I try to repeat to make sure that people understand that I'm risking my life doing what we're doing, because there's a reason for it, because I'm not a news reporter, I'm not a pundit, I'm not a historian, I'm not somebody that has been in politics my whole life. I was literally
You're the original MAGA sausage maker, dude.
Exactly. I was part of I like
You fucking are. Like, it's just you're the original MAGA sausage maker. For years there were stories about how people tried desperately to find the Colonel's 11, the recipe to the Colonel's 11 herbs and spices at KFC. They're assassination attempts. People try to steal them. It's like, and you're like, how the fuck does he make this so good? He makes you crave it fortnightly. It's unbelievable. It's and that pales in comparison to the recipe that you have of how the MAGA sausage is made. And that is the importance of making sure you subscribe to my friend Lev Parnas at Lev Remembers here on well, it's fucking true, dude. You're the chief fucking. That's why I've been yelling from the rooftops. I'm like, can we turn Lev into the secret weapon and just send him into these rooms and send him after people and let him build the digital pushback, because he knows what he's doing. And everybody's like, yeah, I'm sure he does. And I'm like, no, I'm fucking serious. Like, he really knows what he's talking about.
Somebody said coffee, tea, and hot sausage.
Hot sausage. Hot MAGA sausage. It tastes like shit, but it looks really appetizing, especially if you're a white guy. Can we talk a little bit about Marjorie Taylor Greene?
Absolutely.
Okay. I'm in love.
You know what? We should talk about not only Marjorie Taylor Greene, but also Elise Stefanik.
Yeah. And Laura Loomer, and it is a big cat fight is going on right now with like MAGA, former MAGA, chief bottle washers of MAGA, ball washers of MAGA. Marjorie Taylor Greene announced that she was resigning from which I got to tell you, I don't think anybody saw it coming. Resigning because she wasn't ready to fight a nasty primary, is what she said. Effectively, it's this 10-minute long speech. And like for a month and a half, she seemed sane. But she's cashed in her chips. Rumors are that she's going to run for Senate. Rumors also are that she's scared to fucking death and she's been threatened to leave the GOP and get out. I want to know what you're hearing, because when and I listen, to me, I think she's still a MAGA sewer rat until she's not, right? And so, but she's said all the right things, done all the right things, seemed to have had some kind of come to Jesus moment over the past several months, seemingly for all the right reasons. But what are you hearing about why this snap little, hey, I'm quitting politics in January? Fuck it.
Well, it's a combination, and it's A, she's definitely a mega sewer rat. B, it's not that she is scared. It's not that she is, but she is actually taking a big chunk of the mega support right now with her, and that's why there's a major crack in mega, and I've been talking about, and that's one of the reasons why we set up our movement, because what we're gonna do, this is exactly perfect for what our agenda to be able to start the divisiveness, because just think about it. The number one thing we need to do, and this is perfect, is just divide. Let them go at each other's throats, because when they're divided, they're not going to come out and vote. You're not going to see that outbreak, and that's just an automatic win for no matter who is running against them. So it's just another strategy that doesn't deal with policy, and then doesn't deal with red or blue, or it's literally their internal destruction, the internal implosion that's happening, because for a lot of these people, it's not about politics. Their ideology, it's they want a certain way of life that they thought that they're going to get, and when think they're being lied to, it's like these are the people that'll cut off their nose, spite to spot. What's that saying, Dean?
Cut off your nose to spite your face. Yeah.
Right, cut off your nose to spite your face type of situation, and that's what you're seeing happening. And she understands that if she stays in the fight with him, she's going to have to, go on record against him, and that will then he'll be able to use that to turn that she's against MAGA. By her leaving the way she is, she's basically ripping a big part because if you take a look at social media already, a lot of the MAGA and a lot of the extremists. That's the dangerous part because remember, Marjorie Taylor Greene is an extremist. She went far against
Extreme Christian
Israel.
nationalist. Yeah.
And now she has the major following of people like Torrio, people like the Proud Boys, and all of those. Because remember, when they were in prison, the January 6ers and early, she was the number one supporter. She would go to the prison. She would stay there and literally visit them in prison. Marjorie Taylor Greene, so she's taking over a big chunk of that support that is already, you have the Tucker Carlson breakup with Laura Loomer. You know what I'm saying? So you got all of those breakups right now where she's taking a big chunk of it towards herself because at the end of the day, it's not the last that we've seen of Marjorie Taylor Greene.
No.
She's very sneaky. She's definitely a Surat. I think I'm going to give her more credit than I even thought. I think she's smarter, or she has people that are advising her that are very smart. I think they're seeing that Trump is completely going off the rails and losing majorly, and there's going to be a bloodbath when it comes to the midterms.
And in the Epstein files too.
And the Epstein files, because remember, she spoke to the actual victims. She's seen a lot of the stuff. She's been in this gift, so she really understands, that there's a certain amount that Trump is just not going to be able to hold it in. And she knows that once it happens, it's like rats run from a sinking ship. So she sees the ship sinking already, and she's running from the ship.
She wants to get as far away from the fucking Epstein files blast radius as possible. That's what I'm hearing.
Yeah.
100%.
100%.
Well, and the Epstein files, it's interesting because we want to get to Elise Stefanik, but you're starting to see people not support Donald Trump by not actually voicing their support for Donald Trump. It's not that they're actively coming out against him, but the Epstein files, and to your point, kind of pinning this back on not just the Epstein files, but again attributing the damaging compromise that is in the Epstein files, that is, engineered and in the hands of Vladimir Putin, who's currently making Donald Trump dance his dance and play his show and do his thing so he can continue to do barbaric things to the people of Ukraine, continue to pretend that his army is a 9, as a 4 dressed as a 9. It's probably a 2 dressed as a 6 now. But bottom line is that I don't think people understand what there is in that compromat that people like Marjorie Taylor Greene, because she's seen it. There's a lot of people that, it was a unanimous vote because a lot of those people, if they hadn't seen some shit, they have heard about some shit from firsthand sources because of the way that Pam Bondi and Kash Patel didn't lock that information down when they brought those Epstein files in-house to go through them. And so that's, I've heard stories from employees of former senators, current senators, who are currently sitting on some not just damaging information about Trump's relationship with Russia, Russia's relationship with several other high-profile business folks, several other high-profile politicians, but they're also sitting on some really disgusting pictures and videos that what are going to talking about blast radius that are going to end the careers of anybody and the political aspirations of anybody that had anything to do with Donald Trump, like anybody.
Yeah, no, it's pretty bad, Dean, and that's one of the reasons. I mean, it's not just her. You have a lot of people right now in his world right now that, and it's as we've been talking about, once the Epstein files broke, once, that's what he kept saying, that keep talking, keep bringing him up because that is his kryptonite.
Yeah.
And you could see, and the other thing that I keep pushing on, and unfortunately it's difficult, but I promise you, every single one of you, once I get on the road, once I get my team in place, once I get my funding in place, I promise you, you're going to see things that I talk about, I'm going to do in action and not ask anybody to do. Like, think about what I keep telling everybody. Think about when I had Congressman Rokana, and I said, right now, you want to really trigger Donald Trump. You want to really go out there and turn his world upside down. I'm going to give you something very simple you need to do, where you don't even have to think of anything crazy like policy. You don't think about it crazy. You have it already. Think you have the survivors that want to meet their president. You have Marjorie Taylor Greene that literally left because she asked the president said she kept calling him. The reason she kept calling him was because she wanted the survivors in the Oval Office to be able. That's why he wasn't picking up her phone calls, folks.
Yeah,
He wasn't picking up her phone calls because she was calling him to talk about policy. He wasn't picking up her phone calls because she was calling, demanding. The one thing I keep demanding and I keep telling everybody is we need
meet with the victims.
We need a nationalized campaign, to meet with the victims. This piece of shit, Donald Trump, goes out there and does these big signings. Just think about it, folks. I want you to sit back for a second and how disgusting this piece of shit is. He sits there and signs when he does his signings, presidential, for the January 6th, or for when he pardons all these people, or when he has these ICE movements, or when he changes when he does all these things. It's all nationalized, publicized, televised. He has all these people behind him, gives out the pens, does all these things. And here we have the most crucial, a unanimous, because I'm not going to count that one idiot. I'm not even going to mention his name and give him the credit, that one idiot that didn't vote for it. A unanimous vote. And then not only a unanimous vote, but he gets pushed through Senate right away, which was promised him it would get delayed a little bit. It's on his desk. And he waits till the middle of the night to sign it without no media, no survivors, no television, no people, no pens given out, no statements of how we are going to stop this pedophile, we're going to do something, nothing. Instead, he puts out a Truth Social post, how this is still a hoax, how here you go, how you wanted this, I'm going to give it to you. But you know what? It's the Democrats. They're now going to pay for it. I'm going to make sure of it. Mm-hmm. Just think about that. Think about that for 1 second.
We talked about, I'm glad you brought this up, because there's one thing that is always missing from any time Donald Trump ever gets caught with his hand in the cookie jar. And it's his incredible ability to turn that into PR, right? And not only did he not turn that into PR, not only did he, this is what I'm hearing, he walked into the Oval late at night, asked, "Where's the fucking bill?" Someone's like, "It's right there, sir." Signs the bill and then threw it off the desk and then walked out of the fucking Oval Office. Most, if not all, presidents previous to this, not named Donald J. Trump, would have called in the survivors, would have brought in as many news outlets as humanly possible to increase, of all things, their fucking empathy score, right? Just talking in political terms. But most decent people would say this is the most transformative, most important bill I will ever pass. Probably the most important bill when it comes to the rights of children, when it comes to the rights of women, and when it comes to the rights of victims of sexual abuse and rape. And I am so proud today to stand with these victims, and we are going to get to the bottom of what's going on in the Epstein files. We are going to stand with every man, woman, and child who's ever been sexually abused at the hands of the powerful, the elite, and global assholes. We are going to make sure that this doesn't happen again, and we're going to provide relief for these women. We're going to provide counseling for these women. We're going to include that in the bill. That's what most decent presidents would do. We've had some very indecent ones. George W. Bush would have done that. Fucking Andrew Garfield would have done that. Not Donald Trump. He not only didn't want you to see anything to do with him signing the bill, he signed it out of pure fucking anger. You tell me, to your point, think about that, folks. You tell me where the empathy is. Show me the empathy in any of his tweets or Truth Social posts after signing that bill. Zero. Not one fucking mention of the victims. Why? Because he knows some of the victims. Because he has met some of the victims. Because he is intricately involved in
It's
the
even
Epstein
deeper.
files.
It's even deeper than Dean, and then he's showing everybody because somebody mentioned Miss Piggy. It's a very good thing you said that because Donald Trump is also showing you who he is. He's been hiding it of how he treats women, how he talks about women. Just think about the way he speaks to women reporters, calling them piggy, shut
Mhm.
up, don't talk, you're
You're the
uneducated. Who
worst.
told you you're the worst? How
Yeah.
he remember how he spoke to Megyn Kelly.
Yep.
You're bleeding through your eyes. I mean,
Other
just think,
places.
in
Yeah.
other places. Just think about. They've been trying. This is who Donald Trump was. This is, and during the '90s he was a lot worse. During the '80s he was worse. In '70s, him and Epstein. That's why when think about the stuff that Epstein wrote, just think about how disgusting Epstein is. And there's Donald Trump's mentioned over 1,000 times in the Epstein just off of the emails that we're getting off his estate. Forget about everything else. And some of this, forget about all the crazy stuff. Epstein writes how disgusting that Trump is sick. A pedophile, sick, nasty human being is talking about
He's
how
way worse than me.
that he's way worse than me. Nobody's even like thinking about that. Like, this is who the real Donald Trump and you could see it through how he talks, how he walks, how right now he doesn't care. Just think about how he's even dealing with his own mega base. He's at that point. That's why you're seeing
Calling
a
them
lot of
weaklings, useless. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
correct. That's why you're seeing. That's why you're seeing such big pushes trying to be maneuvered behind the scenes by the Russell Vought, Stephen Millers, because they understand Trump is unhinged right now, and
Mm.
they're scared, and they need to push through certain things to try and get control before he loses it. And if they can't get this control before the midterms, and there's a bloodbath, they know they're all going to prison. They
Mhm.
all know that there's no way because they've all crossed the line. So there's a major. That's why I tell everybody in every letter and every post that right now, no matter there's a lot of good news. Thank God that we're getting through because we're seeing the cracks. We're seeing mega fall apart. We're seeing all the polls that he's sinking, and this is all great
Disaster.
stuff.
Yeah.
Disaster and yeah, but you keep in mind he's not going to go easy. I know him. This is not over. There's still a long way to go, and that's why I say to everybody, make sure because also remember he's a master of switching the scenario, the news cycles, and remember we still don't have we don't have that great leader on the left that's coming out there saving the world yet. So we still have a lot of things that we need to do it. So that's why I want to make sure keep pushing, don't give up. Take a deep breath,
Hammer
enjoy
away.
yourself. But keep hammering away.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So let me ask you a question because you just said he's the master of changing the news cycle. For the first, maybe second time in the totality of Donald Trump's 2 runs in the Oval Office, I've never seen him chase his tail like he's chasing his tail now. Every single
Yeah.
tweet is a
Yeah.
reactive tweet. Every single one. What does that tell you? And then I want to get to Elise Stefanik, but what does that tell you? Because, this guy continues to act guilty even though he maintains he isn't. And for him to be this reactionary and not proactive and not be able to control the cycle is something. It means that every part of the mega disinformation, information warfare machine, no matter how inflated and inauthentic it is, can't keep the fuck up for the first time ever.
Well, and thank you, Dean. And I'm going to take you back, guys, when I a week ago when November 4th, a little over a week ago, November 4th, when the elections happened, and we had that wave. And I told you prior to that, part of my plan when I was talking about what we need to do is remember. I kept saying the Democrats need to take the news cycle and take it over, put the Republicans, put Donald Trump on his heels, put him on the defense. Because what happens when Donald Trump is on the defense? He makes mistakes. There's mayhem. Look what has transpired in the past week and a half since that we got one day of the news cycle by those elections. That November 4th hit him so hard on his ass that it shook him to the core. Since then, he's broken up with Marjorie Taylor Greene. She has left the office. At least he has basically became best buddies with a person he was called a communist, and now every state around the country that's ran against Mandami is now like Elise Stefanik, which we'll get to. That said he's a jihadist. Then Trump basically turned around and said, No, he's not jihadist. He's a good standing man. You know, she's got you know, right. So what I'm saying to you is all of this is transpiring because
Yeah.
Trump is rattled. This is because, like you said, Dean, because he's on his heels, because
Yeah.
he's now on the defense, he's responding, he's not on the attack. He's not same thing right now with the Russian plan, you know, because he's on the defense. Because why? He's not controlling the situation. The Russians are, because they understand also. Remember, the Epstein files don't just, this is a worldwide event. There's things that the Russians are involved in the Epstein files, because the one thing you never hear mentioned are Russian oligarchs. There's a reason for it, and and I could guarantee you there was plenty of Russian oligarchs involved with Epstein. There was plenty of Russian female women that were sent over here that worked, and just like Putin sent oligarchs to do his dirty work, there were plenty of honeypots, you call it, or whatever.
Some would say the first lady might have been part of that pipeline.
You know what? I could tell you, I don't know factually exactly about Melania, but I could tell you that from what my sources are telling me, that is definitely another concern, but not the main concern, but definitely another concern to rewrite history, because there's a lot of them. So, you know, and the Russians are also understanding that this Epstein files is about to explode. And if it explodes and the world finds out the leverage that Trump, the compromise that the Russians have over Trump, they lose the leverage. So they're pushing. That's why you're seeing this. That's why you're seeing the ultimatum happen right now, because a lot of people don't realize, why is this ultimatum happening all of a sudden.
The Ukraine ultimatum, where you signed the Kremlin peace plan by or else.
Right.
Yeah.
Correct. Everybody's thinking, why all of a sudden? Why all of a sudden? What transpired that all of a sudden pushed Trump and to send his generals to threaten, send this peace plan over there? Why now? Because the Russians, after October, when they realized that the peace plan, I mean that the Epstein files are coming through, he understands. Remember, and that's another thing. Some of the people are saying, but they're scrubbing the files. And I wrote, yes, they are scrubbing files and doing it. But remember, the people that are scrubbing the files are now becoming people that are one day could be whistleblowers, you know, and there's a lot of people involved. But also, there are other people involved in those files. So if there's an email, let's say, from Epstein to a Russian diplomat discussing Donald Trump, and they scrub it out of the Epstein files, it doesn't mean that went away, because then the Russians still have it on their side, because that was their diplomat that had they have a copy of the email. So you can't. So there's still it's not like you could totally just scrub. You could maybe scrub one side of the fraction, but there's always two sides of an email, two sides of a conversation.
Well, and let's be serious. Like, Russia and the United States and Israel aren't the only governments that have their hands on the fucking Epstein files, right? Like let's be 100% upfront here. Not only were they not secured, not only does a massive tranche of information still exist with the House Oversight Committee we haven't seen from the estate, but I'm hearing France has it. I'm hearing the UK has it. I don't know about Ukraine. If they did, I'd be putting it out like tomorrow. But like, you know, this is a government that is run by fucking morons. So, like, you know, it's not like and that threatens people to do its bidding. It's not like some of those morons and some of those people that were threatened aren't going, you know what? I could fucking sell this. I should probably keep this. I should probably hang on to this. I should probably make a copy of this. This is not your garden variety administration of the past, where everything's locked down and everything's secured and it's on top secret servers. This was open source for so many people in the FBI for so long, to your point. And Waj says it all the time. If it doesn't come out in the next 30 to 40 days, which has been mandated by the House Oversight Committee, both of those votes in the House and the Senate, someone's putting it out. Someone's going to put it out.
Well, it's going to start coming out, but you're going to start coming out in leaks and drafts. You're going to start seeing it coming out to try to manipulate the news cycle. You know what I'm saying to you? And also keep in mind that holidays are coming up. The next 30 days, you got Thanksgiving.
What a great Christmas gift that would be for all of us, wouldn't it?
You got Christmas, you got Hanukkah, you got all of these stuff happening. New Year's coming up, so you got all of these. It's going to be, you know, very, plus you have government shutdowns. You know, 30 days. I don't know when they're shut down. I don't think the 30 day, I think it's 30 business days. So you know, or 28 business days. So again, there's a lot of delay that they're still going to do, and there's a lot of things that they're going to try to be able to cover it up. So, but because I know time runs really quickly, and there's
we need to get some questions. right?
Yeah, I want to do a few things. Yeah, I want to do some questions. I want to see who wants to come up, and then after that, we're gonna do a little story time with Lev. I'm gonna do a special to end it off, story time with Lev. So
Oh my
don't go
God!
anywhere.
We should
Yeah.
get some cookies out and stuff and sit around and listen to you read from your book. I can't wait. What a
Well, it's
nice
not.
little bonus. If you have a question, I'm going to get to the first question. And folks, if you want to DM us, and we'll bring you up if you want to rant, want to rave. Probably the easiest way. Let us know if you're in the chat. You
Yeah.
want to come up. We'll try and get to that. But one of the first questions from this chat is, this is from Lou about 5 minutes ago, and I made a point of making sure because I know we've teased it. Is you keep teasing an Elise Stefanik story. What gives?
Oh, hold on a second. I'm just trying to type. Give you. Bag. Hold on a second, guys. I'm just trying to get one of our people up here, see if she's in here.
You talking about Ellie? Bringing
No.
Ellie back?
Oh, is Ellie here? She wants to come up? Sure. I know. I didn't know.
I don't know. I don't know if
We'll
she's here, to
text
be
her.
honest with you.
No, yeah, I didn't see. I'm trying to. So Elise Stefanik. Oh, so the story basically is very. It's not a crazy story, but it's a funny story. Elise Stefanik has been running is running for governor now. That she's running for governor of New York. So part of her whole campaign is she's running on that Mandami is a jihadist and that he's Kathleen Coach. Coach is her jihadist, and he's a communist jihadist. They've been running it. Trump has been supporting her. They've been going through it. And then at the Oval, when one of the reporters asked Donald Trump, she said, listen, Lisa Stefanik is running for governor, and she's saying that Mandami is a jihadist. So are you saying that you are allowing a jihadist to stand behind you in the Oval Office? So Trump turns around, looks at him, and says, I don't see any jihadists. Oh, no, I see a fine man that, we've got a lot. So then, so,
completely blew up her whole fucking platform.
So it goes further. No, it goes even further. So then the reporter turns around and asks, "What? So are you saying that Elise Stefanik's campaign she's lying?" Well, so Donald Trump smirks and says, she's running a campaign. When you're on campaign, you say a lot of things that you just say.
You lie a lot.
You lie a lot.
Trust me.
He goes, trust me, I know how I do. Like, he looked at this, I'm like, So Elise Stefanik then responded. She put a tweet out there saying, basically, let me read you her tweet. Hold on a second.
Right from the horse's mouth, literally.
Yeah. So she responded.
And then I've got our first DM question too, so we'll get to that in just a second.
Also, and see if anybody wants to come up. If you
want to come up, let us know. DM us if you're a paid sub. This is for you. This is your time.
Oh, let's see. So, where is she? She is.
What an ass kissing press conference in the Oval too.
So she puts a picture up just so you guys see of a New York Post of Mandami and
with a Muslim, some random Muslim.
No, not random. This is the sheik that blew up. I think blew up the World Trade Center, linked to the mom that blew up the World Trade. And she says, "We all want New York City to succeed, President Trump, but we'll have to agree to disagree on this one. If he walks like a jihadist, if he talks like a jihadist, if he campaigns like a jihadist, if he supports jihadists, he's a jihadist. And he's Kathy Hochul's jihadist. Hochul is jihadist." So that was basically her response to Donald Trump.
She's fucking crazy.
Well, I want you to understand something. That is a major rift that people are not talking about, but that's going to come to a major head because she took a lot of backdoor. I mean, she literally took one for the team because he nominated her, I think, as to be the United Nations ambassador, and then he asked her to take a seat back because it was such a thin majority that they had in the House that he wanted her to stay so they don't lose the House. So she pulled it back, stayed in the House, and is now trying to run for governor. And now he just completely kiboshed her whole governorship. So she's not going to be the governor now of New York.
Well, I don't know. Listen, running on the fact that the mayor of New York is a jihadist is probably not going to help you. Like, especially in a city like fucking New York. New York is a smart fucking city, right?
Yeah.
It is. Full of smart, very aggressive, no bullshit people. I love the people of New York. I love the way that they get angry. I love the way they go after, especially Yankee fans. I love the way that they assault other fans. I don't know why. It's just always been in me. I'm like, you don't understand the mentality of the people of New York. Quick question here. This is from Cashflow Collective, one of our paid subs. Again, this is the paid sub portion of Coffee and Tea. Quick question for Lev. People keep saying this is from Cashflow Collective. Yeah, on social Substack. If Trump gets impeached and convicted, JD Vance and the whole cabinet automatically go down with him. That's not how the Constitution works, right? Article 2, Section 4 requires every single official. It's a great question, actually. President, Vice President, cabinet members, judges to be impeached and convicted separately for their own actions. There's no package deal or automatic purge. So if evidence emerges that Putin is using Epstein-related compromise to force Trump into betraying the U.S. interests in Ukraine or anything else, can Congress impeach and remove Trump for treason?
Oh yeah. Well, first of all, let me start off. I'm not a constitutional lawyer, so I'm going to give you what I know from just what I
With the
know.
amount that you've paid lawyers, you could be a
Yes,
constitutional.
I could, yeah, I could probably, yeah, yeah. So I could tell you this much from what I'm hearing. When and with God's willingness, we get the House and hopefully the Senate. There will be individual investigations and individual impeachments. This is because Trump and the Epstein files is one thing. There's probably a list that's like of 100 things that he is going to be impeached for, besides the Epstein files and besides what the Russian compromise, the way he's been using ICE, the way he's been terrorizing people. There's just so many things he's going to get impeached for. And his enablers, from what I'm hearing, is they're going to be separately. And that's why a lot of them, that's why you're seeing Marjorie Taylor Greene run like the rat from the ship, and you're going to see more, because they understand that there's going to be a major wave coming with indictments, impeachments, investigations into the Cash Patels, the Pam Bondis, the Pete Hegseths, the Todd Blanches, and all of these. This is just the beginning, because what we're watching play out in front of our eyes. You think about. It's playing out, but now it takes time for investigations to happen. I mean, it doesn't happen overnight. We're seeing it play out, and we're like, "Oh shit!" We know, black and white. We've seen it on TV. But now there's things that need to take place. And this is just the beginning, folks. That's why you're seeing Donald Trump act the way he acts, and that's
Shit
why
his
you're
pants.
seeing.
Yeah.
That's why you're seeing Russia act the way they act, trying to pressure and get. That's why you're seeing people like Russell Vought and Stephen Miller act the way. That's why you're seeing a lot of things accelerating, and it's because Donald Trump is so erratic, and because he's so uncontrollable.
So that's another question that someone just sent me. They want to know, what are you hearing? What is Lev hearing about who's next to jump ship? Because when you lose Marjorie Taylor Greene, there's an assumption there that there's got to be more people that are trying to avoid that blast radius of what's going to happen when we find out.
Well, I'm working on that. This just happened. So a lot of people are still confused. So we'll be getting you that information. But like I said, the next one, I think, I don't know if he's going to be the next one soon, but I think very soon we're going to see Dan Bongino come out of the woodworks, because I don't think he's going to be able to sustain the pressure once the files start coming out, and depending on how they start coming up, but also the pressure we're going to put on to make sure that he needs to respond to this. The Epstein files already. It's been 4 months, 5 months. He hasn't said a word. We need him to say something. So we're going to put the pressure. So Dan Bongino would be another one that I would hope we could get to break with MAGA, because I think if we get Bongino to break somebody in the inner circle that actually seen the files, that actually was in a position to say I was there, it will be a huge one.
Another person wants to know why. This is from Cindy, I believe is her name. Pardon me if I got your name wrong. Is there a reason why most of Trump's wives are Eastern European?
Well, again, that's part of what we're talking about. It might sound funny, but back in
Right now, it's a great fucking question, right?
well, yeah. Well, you also have to understand this is part of the world that they painted around Trump. It sounds crazy, but this is you're talking about the KGB at a time and an era where the money, the financial, there was a lot. But just say Trump is not the only one that has a lot of Eastern European wives and girlfriends through that era. Some were real, some were real. People do fall in love and some do make, but a lot of it, until this day, a lot of them are, basically still agents living inside with very wealthy men. There's some of them are girlfriends of very wealthy men, and that was part of the strategy in the 90s. Even in the early 70s and 80s, going back to the KGB, they would send in a female. It was part of, even Putin made comments like, "We have the best prostitutes and there's to something to that degree in Russia." I mean, that's a tool that is very, very seriously used by the KGB. Yeah.
Yeah, you know what?
And they say,
I find it interesting too because Melania speaks like 5 languages apparently, just not English.
yeah, right. Yeah, I still can't get over like that. I can't stand her.
Dude, how long has she been here? I laugh all the time because it's like, the information that we watch come out, and Melania is an interesting test case, right? And everybody's like, I know you're gonna be like, don't go after the guy's wife. I'm like, I don't know if she's really his wife, like in real terms, but what we found out about her involvement with Epstein prior to her meeting Trump through Michael Wolff. Well, whether you don't like Michael Wolff doesn't matter. His reporting is fairly fucking accurate because he was deeply involved with these guys in pretty unethical projects, and he probably knows, and he's seen pictures, says he has. But what I find fascinating is that we're asking these questions now, and normally, in a normal time with a normal president, normal people would be just like, that's crazy talk, that's conspiracy talk. But can you discount it at this point? Like, can you discount the idea that maybe Melania might be one of those Eastern Europeans that was co-opted to come here through a pipeline that we're talking about, that there's a whole bunch of like hundreds of thousands of files on? If she was deeply involved with Jeffrey Epstein, she sued everybody for billions of dollars. They all told her to go fuck herself. Now everybody's suing her back and she's shitting her pants. Like, it's starting to add up a little bit for me. But again, I've got, you're laughing, Lev. I've got no proof, but you got a big shit-eating grin on your face. And I think that you might not disagree with some of the questions that I have in regards to that relationship, if you will.
Look, I'm gonna put it to you this way: that relationship is just weird to begin with. I don't know if Melania is some kind of spy. I don't think she might be part of it, but you never know. I honestly, we're laughing, but you never know because during the 90s there was a major push, and all of these girls, would come as models. They were handpicked by the KGB, by the FSB. They picked some of the most beautiful girls. They trained them. Listen, I witnessed it personally in some of my trips to Ukraine, and even how even in Eastern Ukrainian authorities used it on people around. So it's still a major tactic. And from what I'm hearing from my sources, I mean, Donald Trump, that was part of his world. That's why, you see a lot of Eastern European people around him, and just to begin with, and if you take a look at the what's it called, the people around there, it's not around him, and all most of his like crew, you will see a lot of them are married or going out, have Eastern European wives or Eastern European girlfriends, lovers, whatever you want to call it, but definitely.
Who's that guy? He was one of the first dudes to get boned in the Russia thing. Little dude, not George Santos, not the weirdo, not the guy that defrauded the people of New York, but there's a different Santos that was picked up and arrested. And there's a picture of him with his Russian wife the other day, and he's sitting there talking about how it's going to be incredibly important to work with the Russians as we go forward. And he's like a nice little picture with his Russian wife, and I'm like, I wonder how many of those women are plants, to your point. Like, I wonder how, that's part of the story once we get through the Epstein files that I think needs to be kind of told, is the extent of, the Eastern European invasion of hot babes that are hooked up with guys that, Donald Trump works with or are in politics or, da-da. Because to your point, yeah, it's a huge deal. It was a major pillar of espionage for the KGB and the FSB for a very fucking long time. And you could say the same thing about other governments as well. But I find that to be a really interesting angle here. Really interesting.
Yeah, I mean, listen, it's actually. By the way, Patty, I think wants to come up. I just sent you
Come
an
on, Patty.
invite.
Come on, Patty.
Come on
Are
up,
you there?
Patty.
Hi, Patty.
There you go.
Hello,
Hey,
everybody.
welcome. I'm fine. It's difficult. I caught it. Somebody, thank you by the community. They were like, I think Patty wants to come up, so I started looking because it's so delayed. Welcome, Patty.
Patty, where are you from?
Well, I live near London, but I'm American.
Oh, you live in England, but you're American. What are you
Yeah.
doing in London? By the way, I was born in London, England. I'm a dual citizen. I love it there.
I've been
Hello.
here 25 years.
Oh, wow.
Oh, hello. Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you been able to find vegetables since you've been there?
Yes. A lot of mushy peas, Dean.
I'm making some of those this evening, Patty. Do you have a question for Lev? Something you want to talk
Lev,
about? A little rant? Go ahead.
Did you know Oleg Voloshin?
Oleg,
I don't know how you say it. Voloshin. Voloshin. Shyn.
Volution
Anyway.
doesn't.
The Reform Party, Nigel Farage over here. He's
Okay.
a Trump buddy. One of his guys, Nathan Gill, was caught taking Russian bribes as a member of parliament. And he got 10 years in prison.
Well, I'll tell you even more, Patty, if you want to do a little investigative just for your little research, and then next week we'll come up, talk a little bit more. But the person they sent to really spend a lot of money there was actually a Ukrainian oligarch that was very close to. His name is Dmitry Firtash. He is now sitting. He's in exile and.
Cyprus?
No, and not, and oh my God, and not Belgium. I keep saying Belgium for some reason.
Brussels?
Anyway, no, he's
Switzerland.
Oh my God, you're killing
Sweden,
me.
Finland,
You
Denmark,
keep saying no, keep going.
Netherlands.
Not Germany, but keep going that way.
Spain, not Germany, Latvia, Estonia, Georgia, Portugal.
No. No.
You said to keep going, so I just kept going west.
No, but I said Germany, but like, you didn't name none of you.
Okay, Poland, Norway.
No.
No?
Oh, well, wait a second. It's by Germany. What's it called? Hold on.
Belgium. No.
What'd you say?
Or Germany.
No, Paris, Switzerland. Keep going. Sound of it.
France, Spain.
Ireland.
Yeah.
No.
Thank you. Vienna.
Vienna. Austria.
Where spying was big time in Vienna.
Oh,
Still is.
I can't believe So, and where the Russians had a lot of control, they used to control the government over there until that whole scandal, and they still do a lot. But take a look at Dmitry Firtash. They spent a lot of money they controlled, and that was why when he even got indicted and they went after him, the United States is still trying to get him over here. He was one of the guys I was dealing with. They were trying to get compromise for Trump and Giuliani. He's the one that paid Giuliani $1 million to represent him and everything like that. So that's something we could actually read about him next week. But one of the ways that Putin used his oligarchs is to send them all over the world through the 90s and the 2000s and invest a lot of money. The UK was one of them, where they
Yeah.
bought some of the most expensive, some of the most prized real estate,
Soccer teams.
soccer teams. Same thing here in the United States. They did the same thing all over the world.
And
Spain,
Abramovich.
Abramovich, yeah. But take a look at Firtash. You'll understand what I'm talking about.
Is
Abramovich.
Farage a Russian asset? It's got to be, right?
We've got to be careful about him.
Lev, you know if Nigel Farage is a Russian asset?
Yeah, I mean, listen, I don't know. I don't have an actual fact about it, but what's her name? Elise Stefanik says, if you smell like a Russian asset, if you talk like a Russian asset, if you act like a Russian asset, maybe you're a Russian asset. I don't know. Like Donald Trump is the same thing. Donald Trump for Russia.
But the good news is one of his boys, Nigel's boys, got 10 years in prison.
Well, he didn't do it on his own. I can tell you that, Patty.
Yeah,
and I think that's the one thing, you see, and it's really one of the shames about the Epstein stuff, right, Lev, is that there's one person in prison right now, and it's a woman. And sure, she's guilty as fuck, all that other stuff. But they'll grab some guy and they'll use that guy. Lev was that guy actually several years ago, where they go, let's make a political example of this individual, and they'll sacrifice that individual no matter what that individual did for the party. To your point, right? So yeah, I mean, Nigel Farage is one of the most dangerous people in the world, absolutely, without question. And there's no question in my mind that he is supported, as Lev has pointed out, if he walks like a Russian asset, talks like a Russian asset. And if his close advisors are being put in jail for 10 years for taking sacks of money from Russian assets, you're probably a fucking Russian asset, to your point. Patty, thanks. So nice to meet you. Thanks for all your support.
Have a wonderful day. Take care, Patty. Thank you.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. There's Patty. This is nice, right? She's just on her couch hanging out. She's like, she loves you. She loves this. And she's like, come on. Anybody else want to come up? Just make sure you mention it in the replies and in the chat. We're more than happy to bring you up if you've got questions or if you got comments or if you just want to rant and rave. We got about 10, 15 minutes left. Make sure, again, go and subscribe to Lev Remembers. It's the best way you can get in on this. Same thing with my my Substack feed, deanblundell.substack.com. We'll get to a couple more DM questions, but fascinating. I mean, this is really a global thing. And I was at a strategic meeting with some people who understand how deep this is. And deeply how deep this is, because, again, you're the original, the OG mega sausage maker, if I can bring that, bring that back. But it is absolutely shocking to me how all of this comes down to control, women, and money, right? Influence, women, money.
I mean, at the end of the day, a lot of it, as you can see, that's where it comes down to. I invited Pads riled up. I know you want to come up a couple of times. I don't know if you want to come up. If you're able to, I see you in there, so I sent you a request if you want to come up. Dean, see if there's anybody else wants to come up, because I think we're going to start heading into our next segment, which is I want to do. It's not a long chapter. It's about, it'll be a short chapter, but I think it's an important chapter, because before we go into it, I want to talk a little bit about Venezuela. That's one of the subjects we didn't touch about.
Interesting, because that was one of the next questions out of my DM. It's like, hey guys, looking forward to story time with Lev. Any truth to the rumors that Lev was the point guy to get Maduro out of Venezuela during the first Trump regime?
Yes, I was. I was actually the point person. Me and a wealthy donor by the name of Harry Sargent, the two of us. Basically, part of what I'm going to read you, the little chapter here, is going to explain to you about what's going on in Venezuela. One of the reasons, there's several reasons why we're going into Venezuela, and it's part of regime change. Originally, it started because, and the main reason is because Donald Trump and some wealthy people around him explained to him about the reserves of oil reserves, the mega oil reserves of Venezuela, and that they need to be controlled by the United States. So this is what the main reason it's happening. It almost happened in his first administration as part of what we were involved with to give Maduro, at that time it was to give Maduro a soft landing, and we would take over, put in a person, somebody that would be positive towards the United States. But after we had the phone call with Maduro, Rudy went to the White House. And when he approached the White House, if you guys read John Bolton's book, then you would see this is where the two books, my book and his book, coincide. Is Rudy enters the Oval, Bolton standing there with Pompeo and Trump, and talking about Venezuela and Ukraine, and Rudy walks in and they take a shit, and Trump says, "Oh, here's Rudy. You need to listen to what Rudy has to say." And instead of going into Ukraine, Rudy goes. He says, "I just got off the phone with Maduro, and basically this is the soft landing." Bolton storms out of the Oval. Rudy goes after him, and and Bolton basically tells him go fuck himself. That they're not gonna do it. And that's why the next day, literally, you had the invasion, the Guaido invasion. It wasn't even sanctioned by Trump. That's why Trump is so pissed at Bolton. It goes all the way back to a lot of things that Bolton, when he worked for him, transpired there. So, yeah, I was the point person in the first in the first administration, and some of the people that were with me in the first administration are now still with him, with Donald Trump, are still advising him on Venezuela, and that's why you've seen even the first thing that happened when Trump took office. If you guys go back, you'll see that there were five. There was five prisoners that were released from Venezuela, and Trump also, because of that, gave certain released sanctions, or gave certain, loosened certain terms for certain American oil companies to continue doing work. And until this whole thing happened, where now he needs to change the regime in Venezuela because to take over the oil supply, but also because it's his now ace in the hole for if he needs to do an insurrection act or something, wartime, to be able to somehow stop the elections or something else that he wants to do.
Yeah.
So,
story time with Lev, everybody. This is a bonus feature.
So we're going to do it. It's a short chapter. It's chapter 35. If you got it, grab your books. If not, grab your cookies. You grab your milk and cookies, Dean.
I do. I got my soda water and a little bit of coffee left. Let's go.
Okay. It's called Soft Landing. It's actually called Soft Landing, the chapter. So here we go. All right. Venezuela was still simmering. In fact, it was falling apart. Since Maduro had taken over, more than 7 million people had fled the country, many of them as refugees. The 30 million or so who stayed were helpless, at the whims of the gangsters and the corporations, as the government did nothing to stop them. In fact, most of the people close to Maduro were drug dealers or crooks of one kind or another. I saw the beginning of the end of the Soviet Union, and Venezuela looked like it was going down the same path. The official White House stance was to support Guaido, even at great cost, and to denounce Maduro. Giuliani was on board with the U.S. giving him the soft landing he desired, but Bolton and Pompeo clearly had gotten to Trump's ear first. They must have convinced him that Maduro wasn't on his side. After all, he had been an ally of Castro's of Cuba, something Trump truly hated. Trump has a reputation for believing that the last thing he's told, so we felt like we still had a chance to change his mind. That, of course, was where I came in. Sargent was a big-time Republican. Harry Sargent was a big-time Republican donor, but he didn't have a lot of sway when it came to the top dogs, because Trump listened to very few people, and one of them happened to be Rudy Giuliani most of all. And who did Giuliani listen to? Me. Bolton couldn't stand Giuliani, but it was easy for him to go over Bolton's head and straight to the president. Sargent knew that and acted accordingly. Sargent wasn't just trying to help an old friend. Maduro was so scared that he was hiding in his palace. He promised Sargent billions of barrels of oil if he could get him his soft landing with his family, and the money he stole and a few close friends. That's an unbelievable amount of money, because you have to remember, at the time, oil had climbed to $71 a barrel, in no small part because of the instability in Venezuela. But to get it, he had to keep Maduro safe and sound. It was understood that Sargent would take care of the team, helping with the solution. So just so you understand, the team was me, Rudy Giuliani, and maybe another 10 Republican people inside of Trump's orbit. The deal was 2 billion barrels of oil for pennies on the dollar. It was over $150 billion deal, basically, that was given to us. And for those of you that understand that I always bring the receipts, here is the actual signed contract by PDVSA, Maduro's company, the official.
Wow.
For 2 barrels of all we had to do was get him a soft landing, which we didn't. And that's why I say to you folks, there's so much that if they I still can't believe they got away with all that stuff, which is still all going to come up. But here we go. I was no expert on Venezuela, but I was familiar with the situation. Powerful people desperate to escape the wrath of the people they'd gotten rich off. I had lots of connections in the international petroleum industry and the lobbyists here and there. I saw it as a easy way to show how important I was to the administration and to get global energy producers, which was my company at that time, off the ground. The clock was ticking, and it was April 2019. The alarm went off. With Maduro's authoritarian rule hanging by a thread, the head of the intelligence services, Manuel Christopher Figueroa, denounced him, left his post, and went into hiding. A petulant Maduran then expelled 54 members of his staff and military who he deemed loyal to Guaido. So just to bring you up to speed where we're at right now is this is when we had our call with Maduro. Rudy comes in, Bolton rushes out. And basically they allow Guaido to start the uprising. So if for those of you to take you back to 2019, there's an uprising now happening in Venezuela. Maduro is scared that he's going to lose because the United States is supporting him. Maduro's in touch with us to try to get a soft landing, so he's willing to leave as long as he could keep all his money, signing this over to Trump. And at this time, right now, the regime is under this. This was the breaking point when Maduro. For those of you, I'm going to bring you. Remember, Maduro at one point thought that that's it. The walls were caving in, and what he did was he ran. It was a report that he went and there was a Russian plane waiting for him to escape to Russia, just like Bashar's did from Syria. But what happened was when he got to the plane, he was turned around and he went back and was told to fight. Nobody understood what, and now I'm going to tell you what really happened behind, because basically Putin called in Wagner Group, sent in Wagner into Venezuela, and told Maduro that they would fight against Guaido, because the Americans were not going to send in the troops, and that the Russians were going to help Maduro stay in power, protect him, because they needed him to continue their own war and shadow and all of this that was being prepared for. So this was all transpiring.
Wow.
So Guaido acknowledged that he was more popular among the Venezuelan people than Maduro, but he had not received sufficient military equipment to unseat the entrenched leader, because the Americans were not giving him the equipment. They were supporting him, but they were not giving him the military equipment, no military support at the time. The next few days were not exactly nonviolent. Lieutenant Colonel Ilya Sanchez, the highest-ranking officer to defect Guaido's side, gathered his soldiers and blocked the country's most vital freeway. Former opposition leader, and I'm going to show you guys some pictures now, if you just hang on, never before seen. I'm going to share with you guys because this was part of the CIA had these pictures, NSA, this was... Hold on a second. Let me see here.
You flipping through your phone?
Yeah, I'm trying to get you these pictures.
God, that phone has seen
oh
some
my
shit.
God, you don't even understand. You don't understand the stuff this phone has on it. You don't even understand.
That phone has seen some shit. That phone has some text on it. The phone's got some CSVs.
This is 2019. Okay. Bear with me, folks.
Yeah. Dude, I want to see these pictures too.
This is a picture of Rudy. If you just want to see him on the boat, I just saw that.
Is that in Venezuela? Just going for a little Venezuelan boat ride?
Oh, I got it. Just when we went to meet up with this is a good one. Where's this? Watch that. Oh, this one you like. This is Rudy having a good time. This is in Spain. This is with his supposed assistant.
Is she sitting on his crotch? Is that what she's doing? Yeah. There she goes.
She's the one that supposedly is his assistant right now. That's in Spain.
Yeah, I'm sure she is.
Yeah. I'll share some stuff while we're going through right now.
Dude, yeah, I love this shit. Like, I'm here for the conversation, but I'm also here for pictures on Lev Parnas's phone of Rudy Giuliani laying down with his assistant laying on his crotch. That's awesome.
Yeah, that was a good one. Hold on. Oh, where's
Folks, now's a good time to hammer those hearts and share this with people. It's probably a fucking great time, actually. Might be the best time yet in the entire coffee and tea episode.
Oh, Fran wants to come up. We'll get Fran up in 1 second. This is me and Rudy in London with the Yankees. What's his name? Aaron Judge. When they played, the Yankees played the Boston Red Sox in London. Remember?
Oh, at Wembley.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was us there with Aaron Judge. Yeah,
he's a big dude.
Yeah, he's a big dude.
Got to applaud the fact that you're wearing a salmon-colored shirt as well. It takes a real man to wear salmon.
Oh, I don't mess around, dude. Hold on a second. Hold on a second. Wait, hold on. I got Fran. Let's bring one of our. Hold on.
Come on,
we're
Fran.
reading. We can bring Fran up here. Hold on a second. Bear with me, guys. Hold on. I'm typing. Fran.
Come on, Fran. You can do it.
Okay.
Don't be scared.
Hey, Fran. Yeah. Can you just? I can't. Do you see her? If you could just write something in the message so I could see and I could bring you up, Fran, because otherwise it's this. There we go.
Lori M. Pearl would like to also come up. Lori M. Pearl. LAURIEMPEARL. Lori M. Pearl.
All right.
You got her?
Hold on a second, guys. Let me, for some reason, it's froze right now. Let me.
It's a deep state, dude. Deep state doesn't want you to show any more pictures of Rudy taking his pants off.
Hold on. Okay. All right, wait. Let me see how. Hold on a second, guys. Bear with me.
I've seen that picture. Yeah, there you go. You got Lori M. Pearl.
Say Lori. I got Lori M. Let's invite Lori M. And Fran, in the meantime, I got Lori M. And as soon as I see you, Fran, we'll get you up here also.
Lori M. Pearl, ladies and gentlemen.
Hey, Lori. Welcome, Lori. Hi.
Good to see you.
You
Dean.
too.
Yes.
Dean, was it George Papadopoulos you were thinking of?
It was George Papadopoulos. That's what I was thinking of. Yeah, thank you so much, Lori. Yeah, I was thinking of George Papadopoulos.
How do you like this? You like this picture? This is Rudy in a cigar. It's taking. And this in London.
No hair dye.
No, and strangely enough, his hair isn't melting his face, and his pants are on, and his fly's up. That's incredible. That's awesome. Thank you, Lori, for correcting. Is that why you called to tell me it was George Papadopoulos, or do you have a question for Lev? Anything you want to say? Any rant you want to make? And where are you calling us from?
I'm from Port St. Lucie, Florida.
Hi, Port St. Lucie, Florida. Welcome to the show.
Originally from New York, so I'm a huge Yankee fan.
All right.
Two things. I really want you to make shirts and T-shirts and sweatshirts that say "Coffee and Tea with Dean and Lev."
Oh,
okay.
I'm gonna make great idea.
In your Lev remembers. In your Lev remembers, yes.
That's a
definitely.
great idea.
Sweatshirts, T-shirts with a coffee cup and a teapot and a mic drop.
Done deal. Thank you. I love it. I love it. I love it. And because of that, Laurie, I'm going to give you guys a special that never before seen by
Uh-oh.
anybody. This could be this. This is I've been saving. If we have reporters on here, this will be breaking news.
What
I
do you
promise
got?
you, because they've been denying this forever.
What is it? Oh, Rudy kissing his assistant?
Uh
Ew. Ew. Really? I was going to have lunch.
huh.
What, you don't find Rudy to be a big hunk of burning love, Michelle? Lori Pearl? You don't?
Well, I don't know what happened to him when he was, mayor of New York, right?
He was just undercover,
What?
Lori. It's nothing. You know what? It's now. It's the true colors are coming out. It's they were when Rudy lost the presidency, he lost the fame, and for Rudy, the fame was the most important thing. He didn't care about money. He didn't care about anything. He wanted that fame, and he never ended up getting it, and that's why he started riding Trump's coattails until now he's so deep in. There's just no going back.
Yeah, he's got no money. He's got no friends. He's got only one option, and that's just to continue to lick the backside of America's fascist president. Like it's all he's got left, right? I mean, he's got no money. He's got no job. He's got no ability to make money. So all he does now is he muckrakes. And he does it for his guy. That's all he is. But he's like a reverse muckraker because if he doesn't engage in the cover up, if he doesn't engage in doing bad shit, then he's of no use to Donald Trump, and he's of no use to anybody anymore. But to Lev's point, and Lev, the guy, he's always been this guy, right? He's never
Yeah.
done anything for the reasons that you do things. He's done
Yeah.
everything for himself, for his own self-enrichment, right?
100%. 100%.
I do have a question.
Go ahead, Larry.
Where's Tulsi Gabbard? Has anyone?
Good
she made
question.
no
Good
news,
question.
right?
Great question.
That's a great question. You know what? I'm gonna make some calls, Lori. That's a great question. Nobody's
Where in
there.
the
That's a
world
good
is
one.
Tulsi Gabbard?
I've been so concentrated with the Dan Bongino and everything that's going. But, it doesn't surprise me, though, because I'll explain to you, because Tulsi was, she, how do you put it? I don't think anybody takes her seriously in that part of the administration. I really, because they're so worried that she actually works for the Russians. I mean, it's like, and the scary part is that she is so quiet. That you mentioning it, because she's so quiet, who knows what she's up to and what she's doing and what's going on. So that's a great question. I definitely am going to look into that.
Okay, thanks, guys.
Laurie, thank you
I
for
love
joining
listening to you
us.
guys.
Oh, great. Thank you so much for supporting us. We love you. Take
Have a
care.
Thank you,
Sunday.
Lori. Thanks. You too. Take
Bye.
care. There you go. Lori M. Pearl. Ladies and gentlemen, everybody give her a follow as well. That's a lovely lady from Port St. Lucie, Florida, who just wanted to chime in and chat with Lev, Coffee and Tea with Lev and Dean. Usually on Saturdays, we're doing it on a Sunday because we got a little jumped up yesterday. It's my fault. And I want to thank everybody who's had questions. Sorry, I know we haven't finished your story either. Let's finish
We're going to get into I promised Fran, and I'm trying to get her up here. For some reason, I
Fran?
can't.
Come on, Fran. Come on, Fran.
Fran, see, if you could just comment in the comments, and I could pick you up right, because for some reason it's not letting. I can't find you on the. It's weird.
All right, we'll keep an eye out. I'll keep an eye out for Fran's text. I'll keep an eye out for her chat.
If you see Fran's chat, I'll start reading, and if you see Fran, just let me know, and I'll bring her up. All right?
Yeah, please.
All right, here we go. So I'll continue.
Yeah.
Actually, I wanted to show you. Anyway, I'll show you guys a picture about that. Yeah, it was Guaido, former opposition leader Leopoldo Lopez, who was under house arrest after receiving a 13-year sentence in 2015 for delinquent arson, damage to the public property, incitement, riot, and terror, was freed on the morning of April 30 by military forces loyal to Guaido, and joined him on a live stream. Guaido announced at the start of what was he called Operation Freedom, Shots started firing. Lopez highlighted it that the Chilean embassy, and after finding no help there, to the Spanish ambassador's residence. Playing to the American public opinion, Trump announced Maduro's grip on tyranny will be smashed and broken. Even though his administration and his supporters had enriched and emboldened him as Russia, China, and Iran increased their footholds in the incredibly resource-rich nation. Making it matters worse, Trump had very little knowledge of Venezuela or what was going on there. Most of what he knew came from Bolton Ballard, whose sources were Garan, a close friend of Maduro, who was later replaced on ICE most wanted list for allegedly money laundering. Think about that. The person that was giving him the information back then, ICE put that person on the most wanted list. Yeah, you can't make this up. And by Mauricio Claver Caron, a Cuban-American lawyer and lobbyist who was a steadfast pro-Trumper as he was anti-Castro. To put it in terms Trump could understand, Goran essentially said Maduro good, Guaido said bad, while Clever countered with Guaido good, Maduro bad. So one said good, one said bad. Trump had no idea if he was coming or going. Things got tense on the ground in Venezuela, and many in the administration felt like they had to do something after Trump said that some aides are more openly teasing military intervention. One of these aides was John Bolton, who often held opinions contrary to Trump's crowd and who often, I felt, was all too ready to use force in any situation. Aware that Maduro was being propped up by as many as 20,000 Cuban soldiers, a position reinforced by the opinion of many high-ranking members of the U.S. military, he convinced Trump to threaten sanctions on Cuba if its forces did not promptly and peacefully return to their island. Behind the scenes, Bolton pushed for an invasion, even though Guaido had made it clear that he did not want that. We think it's still very important for key figures in the regime who have been talking to the opposition over the last 3 months to make good on their comment to achieve the peaceful transfer of power from Maduro regime. Bolton told the media all agreed Maduro had to go. As the tension reached a peak, Maduro fled as tension peaked, and this is important, reached a peak, Maduro fled for the airport, international airport. Even he, it seemed, thought the end was near. An indication of those side Maduro was really on. Simon Bolivar has housed two Tu-160 Blackjacks, supersonic Russian heavy bombardiers with nuclear capabilities, and had daily flights to Turkey through Havana on only airline operating there during the hostilities. Not everyone agreed on what actually happened that day. Pompeo and the U.S. media said that Maduro was on the tarmac preparing to get on a Russian military plane to Havana when two unnamed Russian officials talked to him out of it. Maduro, of course, claimed that he had not gone to the airport, that he was bravely directing the anti-coup effort on the front line, and that Pompeo was slandering him to justify an invasion so the empire could get its claws into Venezuela. The America story is close to the truth. When he arrived at the airport, two FSB agents told Maduro not to worry, that the Russians would safeguard his return to power. It's exceedingly unlikely they gave him the option of getting on the plane alive, faced with the prospect of fighting Guaido with the help of the Russian soldiers, or getting into a plane with those same soldiers. Maduro made a predictable decision and returned to the Miraflores Palace. When Maduro's forces, Venezuela or otherwise, fought back with the Chinese-made armored cars and news spread of the Lopez less than heroic response, the coup attempt fizzled. Soldiers loyal to Guaido shed their uniforms or were seen knocking on the doors of foreign embassies hoping for refuge. By the evening, all was quiet, and Maduro blamed the disruption on the obsessive efforts of the Venezuelan right, the Colombian oligarchy, and the U.S. empire. Absolutely untrue. But that truth still plays big down there. It also helped Maduro deflect any blame he had to hold on to power. I was disappointed at that point. I didn't get the big prize, but not heartbroken, because I was never sure of what would happen in Venezuela and had not really planned on cashing in on Sargent's offer. Besides, I had Ukraine on my mind, and that was more important. So,
My God.
Yeah, as you could see at that time, it was all about the money. It was all about, and it's the same players right now that are involved, and that's the same players that are involved right now. It's the same.
Harry Sargent's
players.
still involved with this effort. Obviously, the military buildup there being what it is could be a great distraction. But to your point, what was that soft landing? What did you offer him? Where, like, how much money was he going to get? Where was he going to live? What baseball team and football team could he go and watch? That kind of shit.
Maduro wanted to move to Texas. He wanted to watch his Cowboys, and it was him and his loyal sergeants, generals, basically the drug cartel leaders. And he was to keep his money, and they were to be able to live in the United States. They all wanted to move to the United States, get free, and they would then relinquish control and give a free elections in Venezuela.
Jesus Christ! And you were the
By the
point
way,
person for all that?
yeah.
That
By
was
the way,
you?
Pegs. Yeah, Pegs. I sent you an invite also, friend. Instead of DMing me, I'm sorry, brother. Friend,
No
instead
problem.
of DMing me, go into the message and write a message into the message thing so I could see you and click on you. And Pegs, I have sent you one, but for some reason you're not accepting it. I'll resend it again. But friend, if you go into instead of DMing me, go into the write a message and just write something like hi or anything so I could see you come up, and then I'll bring you up.
So, did they make the same offer to Zelensky as well? Has that been part of those conversations? Because I know that he has been made an offer. You were the person that actually broke that story to Zelensky. It's like, hey, listen, like Bat Channel, Witkoff, Zelensky, his people. Hey, dude, all you got to do is just come to America, leave Ukraine, allow those people to fend for themselves, and you can make movies. Like, was that offer literally made to
Yeah.
Zelensky as well?
Yeah. Yeah, how crazy. I mean, a few months ago, basically when Zelensky was this was during, I think, during when they were all there after the Alaska summit. One of the meetings when Zelensky was there that supposedly everything went smooth and everything was good, that was the proposal that Trump gave him. And they tried to get him out back then, but Zelensky declined, and that's why now you see right now he's going to be giving him the same. That's why Zelensky was going to come up, but I don't think he's coming up, and there's no conversation because basically Trump is telling him, the generals he sent there told him that it's if he accepts the offer, it's part of the, if you take a look at the 28-point plan, is that if he accepts the offer, there's amnesty or immunity to everybody involved. So basically, not to go after them because part of the propaganda that they've been pushing right now. Pegs, I sent you a invite, so I had again. So try to see if you could get it. And the part of the campaign to change the administration, because
In Ukraine.
Zelensky
Yeah.
in Ukraine. At first, they wanted the elections. Zelensky wouldn't hold the elections, and now because they're not holding the elections, they're trying to make it that people around Zelensky are corrupt because of the corruption scandal. Because of that, they're trying to use that as a way to be able to get him out. But Zelensky came out, as Alexander said today earlier, came out with a very strong message saying that that they're going to go prosecute anybody that they can that has been, doing criminal stuff, but that they're not going to, accept this offer.
There's nothing like framing someone with a crime and then offering them a deal to capitulate and saying, we're not going to charge you with the crime that we framed you with.
It's insane. It's insane. Dean, you can't, like, literally, I tell you, I always laugh at that. And I say, you can't make this stuff up because the way they do it, I don't know. I'm so disappointed, guys, that I don't know why I'm sending invites to Pegs. I don't know if she's getting it. I don't
It's
know what's
okay.
going
It's
on with my
okay.
Substack. We'll fine tune it.
We'll figure it out. Figure it out. We did good today.
Yeah.
We got
Yeah.
Patty, we got Lori, we got Alex. I would say the last 45 minutes of this has largely been driven by which was the entire fucking point of Coffee and Tea with Lev Dean on Saturday or Sunday. Today it's on Sunday. We'll go back to Saturday next week, which is to let you drive this. And we couldn't have been more grateful to have this time today. And I know Lev's been trying desperately to bring people on, and there's a little bit of a lag, and sometimes people dip in and dip out. But we're going to refine this. We're going to maybe come up with a bit of a schedule. We'll schedule, the paid subs opportunity to come and co-host with us and ask questions this next week. The DMs work great. Send us DMs. Feel free to continue to go into the chat. Feel free to ask us questions. We're going to be back with Coffee and Tea next week. But listen, I cannot stress this enough. There's two things, actually three things I would love everybody's attention for. This community has been unbelievable. You are the resistance. We are you. There's a GoFundMe that is in the chat here for Alex in Ukraine. Please, if you can, go and share that. If you can donate a couple of dollars to that, I think, they're about 20%. They've got 20% left to be able to fill this out. It's for heating pads, hygiene pads for people in the front lines. We had Alex on the show. He just returned back from dropping a whole bunch of shit off in the front lines. He is in the dark. Kyiv is in the dark right now. After another bombing run, hundreds of drones, hundreds of people running for their lives. And when we're talking about supporting the people of Ukraine, all of you have been so incredible. So please continue to support Ukraine. Hit that GoFundMe. Also, there's another one there. Lev, if you can put that in the GoFundMe as well. We're building a bigger boat. Lev is going on the road, and we need your help trying to put together that team. There's been several meetings, and we need that funding. And if you could help us with that, it would mean the world to all of us, because we want to activate Lev. He knows things. Like I said, if you've got the head sausage maker, the head mega sausage maker, you want to go and empower that sausage maker. So we're going to surround Lev with tools that he can make this happen. And so if you can kindly go and donate to that GoFundMe, Lev, if you can put that in the chat as well, that would mean a lot. And listen, the other way you can do this, the other way you can support us, is just to continue to subscribe, continue to share, continue to hit those hearts, continue to put us at the top of the algorithm. Because the not just the pictures and the information, the inside information, the context we're giving you, you cannot find it anywhere else. And mainstream media has completely abated the responsibility of not just informing you, but affirming you that you're not crazy, that the receipts you have are true, that Donald Trump is running the most incredible op that's ever been run on the American people. And it's go time, because he is as defeated as he is going to be. So please continue to subscribe. Lev Remembers is where you can find Lev. Become a paid subscriber today. We go the extra mile for all of you. That's why we do this every weekend, is to give you an opportunity to have your voice heard, to rant, to rave, to come up, to ask questions about the things that you have questions. And everybody's got questions right now because they've flooded the zone with entire wads of bullshit that are so hard to filter through. And what Lev does better than anybody, he not only gives you context, but he boils it down to his essence about what we're doing here and what Donald Trump is all about, because he is one of the guys that does understand what happens behind these scenes. He has been in those rooms. He is continually in those rooms, continually in conversations with people. So please become a paid sub to Lev Remembers. Go to Lev Remembers today. Also become a free subscriber if you want that content as well. We don't believe in paywalling, but we do believe in giving you our very best, and our paid subs keep us in the game and keep you in the game and keep us talking to you. So if you could do that, great. You can find me if you're, tired at the end of the day and you're like, I'll throw Dean a couple bucks. DeanBlundell.substack.com. We've got 25% off for the rest of the month. But more importantly, thank you all for doing this. And my friend, my brother, thank you again for a fucking another incredible coffee and tea. Loved it.
I love you, brother, and it was incredible. And before we go, last time I'm trying really hard, Fran. I just sent you. Oh, I think we did it. I think we got it. Hey, we did it. Finally, persistence. That's part of our motto here at Leverman. We don't quit. We don't quit until we get the job done.
Keep going. Absolutely.
We got you, Fran. Welcome.
Yay.
Franny, where are you from? Where are we getting you from?
Well, where I am living now is Washington State.
Yeah.
Northwest Washington State.
Love it.
I used to live in New York, but yeah, Long Island. Now I'm in Washington.
Are you in the Linden, sort of Bellingham area, in and around that part?
I'm kind of Key Peninsula, southwest of Seattle.
Okay, gotcha. I gotcha. All right. Yeah. Used to live in the lower mainland of British Columbia, so we spent a lot of time there. Absolutely love Washington State.
Columbia is gorgeous.
Yeah, it's awesome there. Question. Go ahead.
Well, the first thing I wanted to say was like what Laura had said about T-shirts. That was one of the things I wanted to add was that like that's an action that everybody can take every day for some part of the day is wear a T-shirt with a message on it. Okay, you know, every day you can do that. Like I stand with Ukraine or Lev remembers. All of those things, and that's an easy thing to do, and
No
something
kings.
everybody
Yeah,
can do. No kings, yeah. If you
absolutely.
can't find the message you want, take a white T-shirt, take a permanent marker, and write your message and wear it.
Well
Okay.
said.
Okay. So the next thing is one question. Previously, you had said that there had been no confirmed sightings of the real Putin for like maybe up to 5 years. And my question is, if Putin, the real Putin, is dead, who is running Russia?
It's an organization, just like it's. I hate to say like a deep state, but the KGB, or and I don't think Putin is dead.
Okay.
I think Putin is alive. There are
He
people.
okay. Okay.
There are people that say that he might be dead. I'm not one of them. I have not seen. I try to stay with facts. So I have not seen facts of this, but I do know for a fact that there are body doubles.
Yeah.
I do know for a fact that Putin, especially after COVID, became increasingly sheltered. Also, during the war, after the coup attempt by his own people during the war, if you remember, by
Oh,
what's
with
his name?
Prigozhin? Prigozhin?
Prigozhin,
Yeah.
exactly. I know, it's big. So Putin, a lot of the times where you see Putin wearing military stuff coming out, especially flying out of the Soviet Union, that's not the real Putin, because
Yeah.
he would not take a chance of getting even arrested or being
Assassinated. Yeah.
assassinated or stuff like that. And you could, if you really want to do, if you could take a real close look at some of the different, like you could tell that it's not even close to, sometimes he'll even wear a different watch in a different hand. Sometimes he'll act differently. Like
Yeah,
you
the
could
Alaska
tell
Putin was not the real Putin. That was a way too fucking
Yeah.
jovial Putin. Yeah.
yeah, that was
Okay,
that
but
was
but
giggly gig. Yeah,
but you think that he is still alive. So okay, so
yeah.
that's not the um another thing is like for everything that's going to happen, everything that's getting put together, security is a really big issue, like security of our information and also security for the upcoming elections. Because no matter how well everybody votes, if they hack it again like they did 2024, it won't matter. So is that, that I think that's something we could work on. And also for everything that's being done, I kind of put together a thing of organization for all the different elements that we have to work on because everybody's doing different things, but we need to put it all under one main terminal where everybody can go to one place and they want to volunteer for this. So they go to that section and they open that and they say who to talk to for that.
I'm
You
glad.
know what I mean?
I'm glad you brought that up, actually, Fanny, because I don't know if you Fran. I'm sorry if you read my
Okay.
emails. We set up actually a volunteer email. I'll put it up to you guys right now, and that's a great. Actually, hold on, let me give it to you. Hold on a second. It's
Just in the chat?
yeah.
Yeah.
I'll actually just tell it to you. It's I'm sorry. Where is it here?
Don't be sorry.
Uh,
This is as natural a brainstorming a session as you'll ever find in a very, very well attended Substack
yeah,
Live.
it's
It's all good.
yeah. I got so much going on here.
Yeah. Oh,
It's-
that was one other thing was the different things like the different GoFundMe's and the volunteer page. If on your homepage there could be a pinned thing with those particular links,
That's what we're doing.
so that people don't have to search through all the different chats to find the
That's exactly what part of the funds that we're raising right now is I'm assembling a team. They're gonna redo my website. They're gonna redo the to be able to make sure they put together all the. That's why it's actually the website is Lev Lev P's and Peter TT Thomas Peter. So it's Lev Peter Thomas Peter at Proton .me. Me. Let me put it. I'm going to put it in the thing. 1 second, guys. Here, I'll do it.
You know that WordPress is probably the best way to the best basis to do a site on using WordPress.
The reason we chose Proton is because it's the only
Secure. Yeah.
Yeah, that
It's more secure.
it's the most
Yeah,
secure.
there's zero chance that law enforcement has the ability to be able to hack it. Yeah. Or bad people. too.
Relatively harder for them to hack.
No, they can't hack it. Attack it.
Absolutely.
Take it from a guy. Remember, they couldn't hack mine.
He knows. Take it from a man that engaged in this kind of business.
I could tell you. I could tell you because I was arrested and they tried to. I had to give him my press. There's certain things that they can't, like Signal and Proton email. That's why all of these. You saw the Signal gate. That's why Pete Hexack and them were using Signal, and that's why they were using Proton emails. Once you see government officials doing that, they're up to no good.
Yeah. Although, as Malcolm said, there is ways to get to hack whatever they're doing in Signal anyway.
There's ways of doing
There's
it,
ways. So
but that's only if they're around you. So what they do is if you're around somebody, and that me and Malcolm, that's a great point you made. We spoke about that. That was Witkoff when he was in Russia. He had his phone, so when he was on his Signal, the cameras or people around, they could see what you're doing and get all your passcodes and everything, and tap and then infiltrate. Correct. So there's ways. There's definitely ways. There's nothing foolproof, and there's what's it called, but this is again. It's not that we're doing anything illegal. It's not that we're trying to hide from anybody, but we're trying to be able to keep everybody. I want to make sure that all of
safe.
You volunteers, everybody are safe, because the administration, the way they are today, I don't want them to go after anybody or or do anything. So please, absolutely, if you can't, for those of you that could contribute financially or both, that's great. Those that could do only volunteer work, that's incredible. So just go to levpttp at proton.me and just send us an email. Let us know what it is you could do, what your skills are, also, once we start coming on the road tour and going to the different states, obviously it'll be a great way for you also to be able to help with the volunteer once we come to the state you're at.
If you come if you come in this area, I'll help out.
Oh, God bless you.
She'll be the Washington chapter of Lev Remembers, which means she'll head up the Washington chapter. Atta girl. Franny, listen, can I call you Franny? I feel like we're friends. I feel like I can call you Franny.
Okay.
Okay. Fran. That was a no. I take it. It's okay. Fran, absolute pleasure to meet you. We love connecting with real Americans, real patriots. Thank you so much for all your support, and thanks so much for bearing with us while we tried to get you on. It is very, very nice to meet you.
No, thank you. Thank you guys for what you're doing. It's so important. Without this information, everything would be a total confusion and nobody would know what really to do. I'm so grateful that you're providing the clarity that lets us know what to do.
Oh, thank you. God bless you, Fran. Thank you for your support and every one of you. And till next time on Love Remember, I wish you a wonderful, happy Sunday. We wish you an incredible day. And next week, we'll be back on Saturday, our usual time, same bad time, bad channel, right here on Substack at 12 o'clock. And we're working on better ways to work this technology. So today we got a lot up. But a lot of you just DM me in advance, DM Dean in advance. If you guys want to come up, you want to, you could even do it the days in advance. So we know we'll start up the list, and this way we'll make it, because this is for you, not only to get the information, but also for each and every one of you who subscribe and paid subscribers that support us here are able to participate and be with us. So God bless each and every one of you, Dean. I love you, bro.
Buddy, I love you. It's my pleasure. Always awesome to be with you on a Saturday or Sunday for coffee and tea. Subscribe to Lev Remembers. I'm at deanblundell.substack.com. Have a wonderful Sunday, everybody. Thanks, pal. I'll see you soon. See you more.
Take care. Take
Bye.
care, my brother. And go hug your loved ones today. Take care.
Yeah.